What is going on, everybody, man? King Recon here. Let's go, man. Feels like it's been forever, dude. There's been no chapter or no episode. But we're finally back. And here today to read the latest installment in that Wano and Onigashima awesome sauce of the best-selling manga in history. Dude, come on, man. Like, there has just been something about these breaks lately that have just, they felt so long. But this one in particular made it feel like it was a whole time skip, but we're here. We are here to experience the one, the only, what is nearly the best-selling comic of all time. One Piece, dude. It feels great. It feels great just to do the intro, man. It feels great just to turn on the camera. It just feels amazing, ladies and gentlemen. It really does to be finally back and in there like swimwear talking about the greatness. It feels phenomenal, man. The title of this chapter, for chapter 1029, is The Tower, dude. Like, when I tell y'all that this past week has been, like, yo, can't wait for this chapter, And because I haven't been able to record much content, I've been trying my hardest, man, to finish the draft that I'm currently on before NaNoWriMo, because in November it's going to be so packed in terms of what I'm going to be doing. So I've just been pouring my entire heart and soul into trying to finish this current draft that I'm on. And so I'm like, man, you know what? That takes top priority. So I could not wait for this chapter because I knew I wouldn't be able to record any videos until this chapter came out. So I was like, man, I need it. I need that chapter in my existence. So it is finally time, man, to read this chapter. And look at this ad that I'm receiving here on the website, dude. It's like they know. They just know. Oh, if this is some sort of foreshadowing for things to come, that I'm hyped. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an ad. Not sponsored, but I have an ad from True Roofers. True Roofers. Roof repairs, roof replacements, commercial roofing, roof insurance claims. You want to know why they would have such a thing? Because we're going to Roof Piece. We've got to be going to Roof Piece. My man Kaido must have told Bao Huang, listen, you got to call True Roofers. This boy, the go with the code, he ain't playing no games. He ain't playing no games. We're about to destroy this thing, but regardless. Shout out to the True Roofers, man. Hey, sponsorships? We're all for them. We're all for them, man. Chapter 1029, The Tower. And you're going to see Jewelry Bonnie. Shout out to Laz for this one, man. Jewelry. I know he's going to be super hyped when he sees this. Cover request by Arinko. Bonnie in a soba eating contest with sea otters. Oh, that's just the cutest thing. And they've just devoured a whole bunch of these bowls, man. In a soba eating contest. I mean, there's somebody who I should introduce you to, Miss Jewelry Bonnie, Soba Masku himself. The man who made soba so good, he had people lining up for days in Wano Kuni. Days! Sanji, you gotta flex on. Regardless, let's get right into the chapter. So no color page, no none. We're just getting right into it. And we're continuing exactly where we left off, with Queen shattering his blade against the hard skin, the exoskeleton of the Burgundian Black. El Príncipe. My boy. Yo, we have Sanji just sitting here chilling, man, tanking that thing. Tanking it. He shattered Queen Sama's sword? Of course he did. What did Queen think he was gonna do? Coming in there with a blade like that. Sanji was like, I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about nothing. Ain't worried about a single thing. In the high Flagnars. How? I could have sworn that blade was going for his throat. Was it ornament hockey? But that wouldn't explain it. That wasn't hockey, was it? I remember Judge mentioning something before about making humans more durable. Durability feats? How about making humans more durable? And here we see Sanji messing around with his mouth right here with an accelerated healing factor and enhanced physical strength. So this is about Judge attempting to modify his children through the Germa technology and attempting to make humans more durable by accelerated healing, which is what we saw last week with the broken bones and, bringing them back, but also the enhanced physical strength. So enhanced physical strength also has to do with the fact that I guess maybe his bones are much stronger, or his just the portions of his body can take more damage. So it's not only just strength physically in terms of dishing out damage, but it's also physical strength in terms of being able to take the damage as well. So that's very interesting. Enhanced physical strength, all topped off with hearts of ice. And that's where he messed up with Sanji, because, and that's why Sanji is known as being imperfect. That's why Sanji is known as being the failure of the group, because his heart is not made of ice. My boy's heart is made of pure, unadulterated flames, unfiltered flames, passionate flames. That's what my boy's heart is made of, man. It ain't made of no ice, all right? So accelerated healing and enhanced physical strength, he definitely shares that with his brothers and his sister. But in terms of hearts of ice, you're looking at the wrong dude. You're looking at the wrong dude, man. Way to go, Sanji, my boy. That's a top 5 funniest line. Way to go, Sanji, my boy. Sanji, my boy. You broke a sword with your bare neck. Yo, that has to be like screenshotted. Way to go, Sanji, my boy. You broke a sword with your bare neck. That's gotta be on some Kurt Angle. I won a gold medal with a golden friggin' neck. Straight up, my boy's neck was golden. A broken friggin' neck. Gotta be on some Kurt Angle stuff, dude. And here you see him thinking about his brothers. You see Reiju, or not. Yo, my brain is killing me. Yonji, Ichiji, Niji. No, I don't want to be like them. Those unfeeling monsters. And he starts running in the opposite direction. Hey, where do you think you're going? Hey, what's happening to me? I need to figure out what caused this. And so, let me think for a bit. If this keeps up, am I going to lose my emotions? Sanji, what's wrong? And so he's running off in the opposite direction because, first and foremost, he does not want to lose his emotions and be like his brothers and be like his family. And so that's the reason why he's so scared at this point in time, because he doesn't want to lose, the thing that makes him unique, the thing that makes him Sanji, which is his emotions. And so he's running off in the opposite direction, attempting to understand and process exactly what's going on. Because for the longest, I'm pretty sure, he as we've been seeing for quite a while now, is that he's been dealing with these bodily functions, wondering what in the world's going on with his body. But now that he understands that this is a part of his Germa side, a part of the Germa technology, he must be like, sweet mother of Flagners, if I really am becoming like them, then this is bad. Like, this is terrible. So it's going to end up being a situation like we've been talking about for the past couple of months, where Sanji and Queen is going to have to come down to the fact that Queen is going to force Sanji into a corner in terms of whether it's by neutralizing his raid suit, or even in a situation like this where Sanji's still just trying to attempt and get rid of any association with the Germa. And Sanji's going to have to accept his Germa bloodline. He's going to have to accept that sacrifice in the same way that Robin accepted, and being like, hold on, sweet mother of Flagners, this moniker that has been used in my, to talk about me, to refer to me as the Devil Child, I am going to utilize that as something to protect those that I love. If that's what it takes, if I have to become that, In order to protect those that I love, I will do so. And so I'm pretty sure Sanji's about to have a similar situation where it's Food Mother of Flagnards. If I have to become one of these monsters in order to ensure that the Straw Hat crew is good, that we defeat Kaido here, then I'm going to do it. I'm going to accept my Germa bloodline. Still keeping it staying true to myself. But if I have to turn into this monster as well, then so be it. But you ain't coming out of here with a dub. You feel me, Queen? So I'm pretty sure that is going to be the what we're heading towards. And it's honestly going to be just extremely nice. Just seeing Sanji have to come to grips with that decision and have to, be like, hold on, man. I have to accept, because now it is clearly within him, right? Like before, he could just toss the raid suit into the Pacific Ocean and never see that thing again. And he would have been just fine and gone on forever. But after this now that his body is showing off the Germa technology, now that this is something that is within him, it's more of like a self-acceptance type of thing. Like, I need to accept who I truly am and where I come from, in order to like 100% show off my full capabilities here, not only as a fighter but also as a character. So we're gonna need to see Sanji accept who he truly is here in order to progress and defeat Queen, which is just continuing what Sanji's been going through ever since the Zoe, honestly, when it comes to that particular story arc for his character. But it's just gonna be nice. I'm looking forward to it, man. If that is the road that we're heading towards, it's gonna be Sanji in a road of self-acceptance and accepting his family solely for the fact that if he does so, they have a higher chance of winning this war in Onigashima than it is going to cause for some epic stuff, man. Some really, really epic stuff. So, it's a Straw Hat, and then we see Sanji just running off. He's muttering to himself. He's wide open, shoot! Shoot him! Isn't he Blackleg Sanji? Fill him with lead! They're like, they're having some fun, man. They're already playing trios on Warzone. They actually hit him. Yeah, got him. That hurt, you bastard. And here comes Queen. Queen comes in flying. Sanji looks behind him. Queen comes in flying. Man's lasers are up in the air. I mean, he's moving like Dr. Octopus. I mean, dude is moving. He's moving. Mwahaha, get back here and put on your raid suit. So he real deal wants this, man, like I've been saying, to put on the raid suit. He wants to prove that he can neutralize it. He wants to prove that, not only that, but just as a scientist, I'm sure he's curious on what exactly he can do. But I'm sure he also wants to prove that he can neutralize it. And that he can, prove once and for all, maybe that, judge you, Flagnard, I am superior to you, man, as a scientist. You know what I'm saying? Show me what Germa science can do. And he's literally, this man is chasing after him and just firing lasers at him. Just pew, 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 pew. Got the crew shook. Second floor. Hey, you don't look too good. Mom. Oh my. Oh my. We're finally back. And not just seeing it in one-off panels. We're actually seeing Big Mom. Lo. Kido. Oh my god. What's the matter? You got a migraine, kid? And here we see everything around them turning into flames, the roof breaking at the seams. You gotta call true roofers. And look at this panel of Big Mom, bro. Oh my good. And you get to see Napoleon just filled with electricity as she's coming down with the might of the heavens. And get him, Hera. Napoleon. Justicia. And Kid is on the ground. So that means something must have happened with Killer. Man, that means that Killer right now is going through it. And because of it, Kid is going through it. Oh, man. See, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to this arc, right? This arc always presents a new scenario, a new situation. To raise the stakes in some regard, specifically to the characters, right? Like, this arc has presented so many different scenarios that are specifically when it comes to from a character base of things that are just very hard for them to overcome. For example, right here with Sanji and his bloodline, and coming to grips with understanding exactly who he is, right? And even going back to the Black Maria fight, that was something that was on that same line of thought as well, of like who exactly he is and whatnot, and having to overcome that. It's more about like overcoming yourself than overcoming the other individual. But in Kid's case right here, because it's kind of like this arc is testing his loyalty to his crew. You know, there's been multiple different points where Kid could have easily gone under Kaido and joined him and been a part of this alliance. But the Kid said to the Flagners of that, right? Like, he said, I'm going to do this with my crew in hand. And we see how much he cares for his crew, man. Even tearing up for Killer. And so seeing what happened earlier on in the arc, seeing how he escaped Udon in order to go get him back and ensure his safety, ensure that he was good. And here in Onigashima, we see some more of that. And I'm glad the anime is doing a marvelous job of highlighting that, you know, just to add some more of that value in there. So whenever we get to this part in the anime, it's just going to hit even harder. But Kid, man. Flippin' Kid. And you know, Killer is 100% willing to do the same thing, which is why he's like, yo, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to ensure that he's good. I'm going to ensure that he's good. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful simultaneous battle going between the two, truly testing them and what they're willing to do for each other. Super good, man. So he's dropping, his head hurts. What is going on? Stop being a deadweight. So Law is like, yo, you gotta tighten up, dude. You better stop putting up these lousy numbers. What do you think this is, a preseason game? Buddy, these are the playoffs. We out here in the finals. And you are averaging some garbage numbers. What do we got going on? If you want to be like Ben Simmons and sit on the bench, sit on the bench. What you got going on? Law's like, yo, if you don't start putting up some all-star numbers, you better sit your butt on the floor. We ain't paying you to put up 8, 4, and 6. We're paying you to put up 35, 10, and 2. We're paying you to put up some big numbers. And you're out here chilling. Get your butt out here, man. So come on, man. So Law's out here trying to speak some sense into this man. Kid, he's like, yo, what's going on? It looks like Kid. So going back to what Big Mom was saying about how he was going through some sort of migraine, how his head is just killing him. That means that Killer must have sustained a massive head injury in his current battle. So Law comes in. Yo, my boy Law ain't playing no game. Here we go. Favorite Zambus goes in, presents himself right in front of Big Mom, and hits Big Mom with a massive counter shock right up to her face. Ooh, the counter shock right to her face. Goes right in. How dare you hurt Mama? Stolen fire. Stolen references both stolen a type of German pastry and the mythological figure Prometheus, who was famously punished for having stolen fire for humanity. Oh, very, very interesting. This is like a double meaning. Stolen fire. So here we see Law gets into the Flagnards. Mama, mama. And man, Kid is going through it. He's bleeding profusely, son. So that means that Killer is going through it. Mamaredo. Meant to sound like marmalade. Marmalade jelly. Big Mom just swings down, and look at this. It looks like a Getsuga Tensho, dude. I mean, this thing, ooh, dangerous. And it's like Big Mom is already a massive threat by herself. And the fact that Kid has to put up with also having to deal with Killer's wounds. It's like, it's meant to feel like an unwinnable scenario here for Kid and Law. It really is. It really, really is, man. Even more than it already was. And he's panting. This is no freaking headache. What's going on? I finally got an opportunity to take down an emperor. If I die like this, my life as a pirate would be a joke. Mama, mama! This is pitiful, kiddo. You look like you'll keel over at your own at this point. Man. So Kid is like, he's even questioning. He's like, man, like, I know what's currently going on between myself and Killer. I 100% understand it, right? But at the same time, it's like, yo, he finally got an opportunity to save to take down an emperor. And now it's like, oh man, he can't do anything because of that fact. He can't do anything because of the two of them having to take blows. And Killer currently taking all this damage and Kid receiving it as well. It's like he's not going to be able to have that opportunity to truly showcase exactly what he can do. And I wonder if that is attempting to save Kid's like full capabilities until like the final arc, I suppose. But then that just wouldn't make any sense unless Oda's currently planning for Law and Kid to lose here and have that transition us into the next arc. I remember Randy Troy saying something like about that in the Reverie. It was a very interesting possibility. So that could very well be where we're headed if this turns into a true unwinnable scenario, which is what it's looking like right now. Because I'm only going to assume the battle right here between Killer and Hawkins is only going to get worse. So here we switch over to Killer and Hawkins. Stop it, fa-fa. Fa-fa-fa-fa. And we see him on the floor. Knock it off already, Hawkins. So Hawkins is hitting his head against this wall right here, which in turn is causing damage to Kid. And that's what's causing this migraine? This migraine, quote unquote? Please, fa-fa-fa. To think you actually ate a smile fruit. You really have the worst luck, Killer. Fa-fa-fa. I'm begging you to stop. It looks like his mask is cracking. Why can't we help you finish him, Killer, son? He keeps bashing his skull against that pillar. Is he nuts? Fa-fa-fa. Just shut up and do what you're told. But you're not fighting either. So we have the two at a standstill. And apparently Hawkins continuously bashes his skull against this pillar, which of course is in turn what's causing this massive damage to his head. We can't take this anymore. The fire's almost here. We need to hurry and leave before it's too late. Release Kid. You can have my life if that's what it takes. And see, that's that loyalty, man. That's showcasing that Killer is of the mindset that he is willing to put it all on the line. He is putting it all on the line to ensure that Kid stays alive. But I'm sure he must have ceased fighting because he was like, you know what, if I continue to take damage, Kid is going to die. And so he probably just stopped doing battle. He was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done, man. I'm not going to kill off my captain just because of my own pride. Go ahead, take whatever you want, but release Captain Kid, man. Release him. So I wonder what Hawkins is gonna say about this. Killer, son. The bastard is apparently facing Big Mom. I bet he sees this as a chance to finally supplant an emperor. He sure dreams big. Stop getting in his way. You can always cut me down with those scythes, if you're sick of me. So what we have here in this scenario, and the reason why this has to be so tough for Killer, is that Hawkins, of course, it is hurting Killer to see Hawkins do this to himself because he realizes where that damage is going. He realizes that the damage that he is causing to himself is in turn hitting Kid, right? So Killer's like, sweet mother of Flagnards. The more I continue to hit Hawkins, or the more that Hawkins continues to hit himself, the harder it's going to be for Kid. Because at this point in time, I can't even hurt this dude. I can't even do any type of damage to this dude. Because any type of damage that I do to him, I'm doing to my captain. And so he's like, you know what, I'm just not going to fight. I'm not going to fight back. I'm going to stay here. And I'm not going to do battle with this man. We're going to duke it out with words, but I'm not going to fight him. I'm not fighting him. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be the one that kills off my captain. But it definitely must be hurting him to know that he can't do anything against him. And that Hawkins such a sick flagnard that he was willing to do all this damage to himself to make Killer try to do something, to attempt to make Killer to move in his direction so that he can do something, so that he can attempt to do something knowing full well that if he attempts to even attack Hawkins, it's going to end up hitting his captain. This is the stuff I'm talking about when it comes to stakes, man. When it comes to stakes between individual battles, it's just like, man, it truly feels unwinnable for this particular battle on both sides. I still don't mind if you surrender. I'll even put in a good word with Kaido for you. Your side has no chance of winning this battle. And he steps on his head. You already know that's the truth, don't you? The reason their dominion overseas has lasted for so long is obvious to anyone who has laid eyes on them. They cannot be beaten. It is obvious to anyone who has laid eyes on them, they cannot be beaten. And then just once again bringing the unwinnable odds into the scenario, which you know how that comes when it comes, or you know how that goes when it comes to storytelling. It's like, when they present something like that, it's because they're about to go down. So, but the thing is, I can see Kaido 110% go with the code, going up in like Somo roof piece. I can definitely see it. But in regards to Big Mom, at this point, it's can we really see her going down unless we... I think the only way I can see Big Mom going down at this point in time, considering the current circumstances, is if accompanying Big Mom or accompanying Law and Kid, other individuals show up for like a massive boss battle against Big Mom. That's the only way I can see it. Or that Big Mom's crew just says screw it after Kaido's defeat and tries to, throw down with Kaido's crew. And then it turns into Kaido's crew and the Alliance versus Big Mom. I don't know. It's just right now with how Big Mom is looking, it's looking tough. It's looking tough for the opportunity, or for the chance for the for the percentage. Since Hawkins loves his percentages, for the percentage of like Big Mom going down right now, it's looking pretty difficult. No lie, especially with what Kid is currently going through, because I could have seen, Law and Kid potentially doing something if both of them are at full health, but that's not the case at all, so I wonder. I definitely wonder. I see through your will and you regret it. The path you chose. We fought through the impossible odds you foresaw, and we're still here while you pissed yourself and quit. Fa. I'll accept you if you into the fold if you submit. We'll see who made the right decision when this is over. So, Killer's like, nah, man. We're fighting, and we fought and are currently fighting through the impossible odds that you spoke of. And while you're still here, granted, no pride, no sense of self, no sense of wanting to actually prove yourself as a pirate, you quit. You said, screw it, I'm done. Leaving everyone, your crew members, your dreams, your aspirations, all in the dust. All in order to ensure your safety and your survival. And so Hawkins is like, all right, we'll see who made the decision when it's over. Like, hold up. Cool. You want to keep talking big like that? Wait and see. Wait and see what happens. Well, I don't want to have regrets either. So I'm going to give this another shot. It's all or nothing now. I've just thought of a couple questions for you. What happens if you take damage that has nowhere else to go? What happens if you take damage that has nowhere else to go? Hold up. Has he thought of something? Does he understand? What are you talking about? You should understand my powers by now. As long as I have his straw doll in me, any damage I take goes to Kid. He did the arm! He did the arm thing! Yes! This is what I'm talking about. So, what have we been theorizing about in regards to Kid losing his arm? Was all for this moment. It was all for this moment. So Killer says, screw all that. Goes right in. We got a double beat spread. And he cuts off Hawkins' arm, which is, I'm going to assume, is the same arm. It has to be the same arm that Kid lost. So that's not going to have any damage on Kid, but all the damage to Hawkins. Beautiful. That's exactly what we were expecting. The execution of it was marvelous. What? Hawkins, son? You cut off my arm? But the damage should have... Kid doesn't have a left... Kid doesn't have a left arm. Question 2. If I remove this doll, How many more lives do you have? Oh, so now he's gonna remove it from his arm. I get it. I understand what Killer was going for. Okay, Killer. Congratulations, that was the last one. This isn't what I predicted. Strawman's card, death upright. The annihilation card. You're already living on borrowed time. I'm going to finish you head on. Kill, 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 kill. So he goes right in. Clawing guillotine. And Killer goes in and just executes the massive Stan's head. Okay, yo, Killer's nasty. Killer's nasty. He killed the straw man. The straw man can't die. Its fate is determined by the cards and it'll be revived. He's like, yo, the heart of the cards. You gotta believe in Monster Reborn. He's like, yo, I got Monster Reborn, baby. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. Show me the result of this battle. The tower? Is that supposed to be the tower of, Oh, man, dude. I forgot what the name of the tower is. It's, I've seen it before. It's in Umineko. It's in trails like this, flatness. I forgot the name of that tower. Regardless, that has to be the same tower here. The tower. Killer goes in to rush him. Sonic Blade. Dude, he goes in, he obliterates this man Hawkins. You love to see it. You just love to see it, man. As much as I love me some Yu-Gi-Oh!, it was time for this man to go down. And Hawkins gets defeated. Sonic Blade. He gets sent to the Flag North. Monster Reborn could not help him. He could not activate his trap card. This man, Killer, had Magic Jammer. And goes right up in like swimwear. You did it, Killer, son. And he hits the floor. The tower card signifies great change. So here we see Hawkins on the ground. His head, body, it looks like he was almost cut in half, but hair on the ground. I mean, he's bleeding profusely. He's gone. The tower card signifies great change. You're no longer under the weather, kid. And Kid gets up. Look at his face. Look at his face. An upheaval of the established order. Yeah. Never felt better. Its hidden meaning indicates the opening of a new path. So it's almost like this just turned the tides. This opened up a new path and a new way in which this battle can now go. Go for it, partner. Carving out a new future. Nasty. Killer was looking filthy out there. So, in regards to the main highlight and the main takeaway from this week's chapter, it is Killer's will. You want to talk about, you know how in the world of sports, you want to talk about somebody having a killer will? The mentality of like someone in the clutch. Killer just came clutch. He came extremely clutch, man. In the midst of an unwinnable situation. In the midst of something that seemed like there should be no way out of it. He goes in and starts talking trash to Hawkins like, hold up. You were the individual who sold out. You went and stood under Kaido and Hawkins is giving him all these like, yeah, man, I sold out and what of it? Look at what it's gotten me. And so he starts talking all big, you know, he's hitting his head against the pillar there, you know, he's like, no, I got you, we're exactly where I want you. And so Killer in the moment has a brain blast, Jimmy Neutron style, and goes in, cuts off his arm, which is what we were all expecting. But while cutting off his arm, then he finds the final straw doll there. And so now whenever he takes care of that, it forced Hawkins' hand. It forced his hand. Goes out, brings out the straw man. He cuts off the straw man. Killer went in. 3 back-to-back nasty cuts. Arm, kacha. Head of the straw man, kacha. Goes in. Hawkins too. Sonic Blade. He was looking nasty. Killer was looking fantastic, both in the way that he handled it from a mental standpoint and from a physical standpoint. Believing in his captain to be able to continue to move. But what I love so much about this is that even Killer understood, as much as he believes in his captain, that if Hawkins had continued to do what he was doing, it would have been very, very bad for Kid. And so he had to take care of this as quickly as possible. So in the same way that Zoro was able to awaken his Conqueror's coding, his Conqueror's Haki, in the battle with Kaido, in order to protect Luffy, We see that right here when it comes to Killer, where he was able to awaken his greatest mental strength, his greatest just survival instincts, honestly, here. You know, his greatest moments while attempting to save the person who means most to him, which is his captain, so that he can make sure and go forward. You know, go for it, partner. And takes out Hawkins in the process. Hawkins tried everything he could, man. You know, he had all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards on deck, but not even all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards could protect him against Killer and his killer will, dude. No pun intended. Yo, a kid looks nasty. So, with the opening of a new path, now I wonder how this battle is going to change in the favor of Kid and Law. I'm going to assume that's what this narration is speaking on. Is that specifically the opening of a new path in regards to up until this point? It looked like, yes, there was a very a pretty good chance of victory if everyone continues to win their battles. But with Big Mom being this massive threat, and with even Kid, you know, extremely injured, how in the world was that gonna you know, play into that victory? You know, how in the world could they take down something like Big Mom? So Killer doing this made it seem like this was going to indicate a new future, a new path being opened, something kind of like an alternate ending in a video game. Or because you did a certain thing, now you open up a new path that takes you towards a new ending, right? The true ending. You see that happen in JRPGs. And so Killer unlocked a new JRPG ending here, hopefully the true ending. And now we're going to see Kid and Law really start going have against Big Mom. But what I do wonder here is, now that this battle is over, now that we're starting to see the end of all of these fights, what is going to happen here with Kid, Law, and Big Mom? Because out of all of the battles, this is the one that fascinates me the most in terms of outcome. Because we really have no idea whether Big Mom is actually going to go down in this fight. And it doesn't look likely. I mean, it really doesn't. Even with Kid coming back up in like Swimwear, we're going to have to start seeing some majorly, I'm talking some massive, just super impressive stuff from Law and Kid here against Big Mom, which I have no doubt they can do. You know, it's two of the big three of the supernovas of the worst generation, going up against Big Mom, whereas Luffy's one-on-one in Kaido. So and most certainly they have the potential to do so. I just want to see how it's going to be done. I want to see what type of thing Kid is going to unlock. Is he going to unlock his Conqueror's Goading here? How is Law going to continue to utilize his Opi Opi no Mi? Like, I want to know how this battle is going to continue to move, because it definitely does look like it's going to move in a brighter direction from this point forward. Do we stay here? And now when it comes to Sanji, so this battle's over. Killer, obviously, major highlight of the chapter, both from a character standpoint, loved it from a character standpoint, also from an action standpoint. The action sequences of him going ham with his blade just looks super cool this week, man. Super cool this week. Absolutely loved it. Big Mom looking insane. But going back to Sanji, so I'm very curious now what's going to happen with Sanji and Queen. Obviously, Queen wants him to put on the raid suit, and we had talked about, you know, Queen forcing him to use the raid suit. Sanji puts on the raid suit, and then he sort of neutralizes the raid suit. Or he thinks he can neutralize the raid suit based on what was already there to begin with. In terms of, he's going to attempt to neutralize the raid suit based on the original creation of the raid suit, but not the newly modified version that was changed by Frankie and Usopp earlier on this arc. So he's going to have to deal with the newly modified raid suit created, or, you know, that was messed around with and modified by Frankie and Usopp. So he's not going to be able to know right off the bat how to deal with that. And so it's going to lean more into the fact of, yes, I'm accepting this side of myself that I don't want to accept in the side of my family, but with the help of those that I really care about, with the help of my fellow crew members who help me to be able to overcome you right now, because you don't understand, you can't fathom the modifications that were made by Usopp and Frankie. So now you gotta deal with not only me, you gotta deal with my boys too. You know, you gotta deal with what they created in order to allow me to take this dub. So it's like, that might further emphasize the whole, I'm willing to put on this raid suit. I'm willing to accept this enhanced healing. I'm willing to accept the enhanced strength and my Germa side, all in order to progressively, like, ensure survival and ensure victory against the likes of Kaido and Big Mom and whatnot. So it's gonna be a lot of overcoming yourself in order to overcome others, and it's gonna be so much fun to see. I'm pretty sure we're gonna go back to this right after, unless we go off and attempt to finish something else. But at this point in time, it really looks like we're gonna focus on the major big battles from here on out. But man, sweet flag nerds. This week's chapter, I really loved the way that Oda handled the Hawkins and Killer situation, because it was such a good character moment. And not only that, the action sequences that accompanied the character moments, just showing off exactly what he's willing to do in order to take care of this, was just really awesome. And then, man, Kid's ready to go ham. I can't wait to see what Kid does. I want to see him impressed in this battle against Big Mom, both him and Law. Like, it's gonna be super dope. Like this, like he said, this is his time to show off against an Emperor. You know, to really showcase exactly what he can do, and whether he's worthy on standing on the stage or not. I mean, obviously he's always had the potential. Ever since Sabaody, he's always been one of the individuals that we thought was gonna stand as being one of the emperors at the end of the series, when all the other emperors started going down. And now it's time for him to prove it. Now it's time for him to showcase exactly what he can do and exactly how he can utilize the best of his abilities in order to overcome this unwinnable situation. Because now we saw what his first mate was willing to do in order to figure it out and win this battle. Now we got to see what the captain's capable of. And he's with somebody else who's a genius. Not only just in general, but in terms of combat too when it comes to Law. So when you bring those two together, looking forward to seeing the tag team sequences, tag team action against Big Mom, how all that's going to turn out. I want to see Big Mom continue to utilize the best of her abilities against those two. It's going to be amazing. That battle just seems like it's gonna be super fire from here on out. But let me know what y'all thought about this week's chapter in the comment section down below. I will look forward to seeing y'all in the comment section. If there's anything that you would like to speak on or emphasize on here, a theory for the future in regards to what's going to happen, I'd love to read it in the comment section down below. But until then, I will see y'all next time. Have an awesome day. One Piece greatness. Let's go, man. It feels so good to be back. Great chapter this week. Shout out to Killer, man. Seriously, this dude real deal showcased what it means to stay loyal to your people. Like, we saw what Hawkins did in easily selling out and going over towards them. You know, he believed the Yu-Gi-Oh cards would protect him. Killer was like, nah, man. It's not going to protect you from me. It ain't going to protect you from me, man. Shout out to my boy.